Hello, I'm Julie Deane, founder of the Cambridge Satchel Company. Let's talk about building a community around your business. "12 years ago, I started Cambridge Satchel with £600. Within 5 years, it was worth £40 million. It became one of the top 10 fastest growing companies in the whole of Britain. That growth was only possible because of our community. I would say that I knew nothing about doing this. And so I hope that that's really inspiring to all those people out there, because I'd never started a business before. And every customer mattered so much, because it meant you were doing something right. We were totally dependent on these customers coming back and these customers telling their friends. That was how we grew. And so it was really important to me that the customer was not just pleased, they were delighted when they got this bag. The bags would always be sort of wrapped in tissue, brown paper and string. I would handwrite the little sort of tag on there. And when orders started coming in, I would phone and say, "Thank you so much. Do you know this bag, you're going to love it so much when you get it." And if we heard, there was a dog barking in the background and someone said, "Be quiet, Charlie. I'm trying to speak to someone on the phone. Just stop it." Then we'd think, how lovely would it be for them when they got their bag if there was sort of like a bonio, a dog biscuit in the front pocket and a little tag around it that said, "This is for Charlie so he doesn't chew the bag." And because we'd made the whole thing so enjoyable, they would come back again and again and again. And not only did they understand how much thought, how much care, how unique what they were buying was, but also they just enjoyed it. Every customer wants to feel special. Every customer wants to feel that you understand this purchase is important to them. Ironically, some of the best opportunities for establishing that customer connection is if people write in and they complain. Hopefully it's not because they're not happy with the product, but maybe they ordered something by mistake. Maybe they got something wrong. How you decide to react to that customer is so important, because the customer that bothers writing to you is the customer that will become your best advocate. So when you think about the people that buy your product, the people who are writing into you to say how much they love it, you need to find more people like that. And so you need to understand those people. What is that person like? Not just their age, not just where they live or what job they do. Get your head around what makes your customer unique, so that then you can really understand them, connect with them, involve them, and grow your community. When I went to New York after a few years, when I landed in New York, I felt like I knew no one. But then I just remembered loads of our customers are in New York. And so I went on Twitter. It was Twitter back in those days. I went on Twitter and said, "I'm in New York. Is anybody around? Is anybody free? Do you want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or even get a hot dog?" Because I'd seen that on TV so many times. And it was that genuine feeling of being part of a community, and that community then reaching out to welcome you and wanting to tell you about their city. And that was just a marvelous thing. When you're building your business, there are so many different ways of getting to know your customer, and that's what's so important. And whereas online is very effective and social media is very effective, there is nothing as good as face-to-face. So don't close yourself off. If you're on a business trip, or if you're actually just going on holidays somewhere, this business is important to you. And so let your customers know you're there and make the time to see them and talk to them. My customers, the friends of the brand, because that's what they are. They are the ideal people to consult when I need help. That first time that we had to commit to get leather dyed a particular color, that was a scary time because it was 500 square feet of leather I had to have dyed at a time, which would make about 110 of one of the smaller satchels. And when I was first starting out, 110, that would take a while to sell. And if I chose a color poorly, then that would be a really, really big risk to take. And so we did a competition on which Cambridge Satchel would you choose? These are the colors they already do. Which is the color that you really wish they did that you don't see on there? There was an overwhelming majority that came back and said Kelly Green. I wrote to all those people that had asked for Kelly Green and said, right, I've listened to you. We're taking a punt on this. We're going to do it. If you want to be one of the people who has one of those bags, let me know. Do you know, by the time that it came to actually placing that order and paying for that leather to be made, we'd already sold twice the amount that would be made out of that color. So the risk was gone. There's nothing bad, there's nothing demeaning in saying, this is what I'm trying to do, do you know how to do it? Because I don't. Be happy to own up to what you don't know, both to yourself and to your community. People really want the opportunity to help and be involved. Every time you spend your money, it's like a vote. You're voting to support a business. People have got so much choice. Why do you honestly think you deserve to be the choice that they make? Sharing your values is absolutely key because that allows your customers to decide if you're their kind of person and if you're their kind of business. For us, the vision is very, very important. We make bags for the world's most interesting people. That's what's important to us. And so if you can have a kind of vision, why are you doing what you do? Figure out the words you use, figure out how you like to demonstrate who you are, get it down on paper. And so everybody then can give that same consistent feel when they communicate. After we had a large investment, and a lot of people came into the business suddenly that had worked in the fashion industry for many years in much bigger firms and really, really were expert in what they did. I allowed my confidence to be dented to think they know how to do this in a more professional way, in a better way, whereas I've just been doing it in a way that felt right. And there was one particular autumn, and I remember I'd been lucky enough to be invited to number 10 for a meeting. And on the way in, I looked up at one of the buildings and it was covered with Virginia creeper just going into their autumn colors. There's sort of vivid reds and russets and then some of the vibrant greens that were hanging on, not wanting to sort of acknowledge that, it was autumn time. And I looked at it, took a photo on my phone and thought, that's it. Those are the colors. And I thought, that's a big job done. That is the inspiration for those sets of colors. When it came round to those colors being launched, I saw all of the creative and the advertising. It was called Fall in the Hamptons. And, we're a British brand. We don't call it fall, it's autumn. And in the Hamptons, I'm sure the Hamptons are really, really lovely. I've never been there. But where's the originality gone? Where has that story? I can no longer tell the story of where these colors honestly came from. And that was just wrong, and that was one of the big red flags. One trap is that you try to appear bigger than you are. You think that makes you look better than you think you are. That's not going to resonate with your customers. They love this feeling of connecting with a really authentic grassroots business. So don't be ashamed of that. Building your business should be a long-term ambition. And to get that long-term ambition, that sustainability, you need to pick up loyal customers. why would they be loyal to you if they don't feel they know you? You want them to get that sense that they know your brand and you're the brand they want to support. You're the brand they want to invest in. And so transparency is key. Why you're doing what you're doing. If your prices go up, why you've put your prices up. Be completely honest and completely transparent. That will build the trust, and that's what keeps them coming back. In conclusion, be clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Be prepared to communicate with your community with complete transparency so that you will build a real sense of trust and commitment and loyalty, and your community will grow and your business will grow with it.